Oh, hello there, good evening. Welcome back to IIRL, live on Twitch. Hope you're really well. Brand new week of streams. Round 18 of 22, 5 races left in the season. It is very much crunch time. I have TD with me.
No, you don't.
Well, quite clearly I do. Evening, Joseph. Hope for some better luck this week. Yes, I agree. All the best.
Don't cross the white line, Joseph.
True. Someone else who's hoping for better luck tonight is Mr. Wiggles. Was battling in the lead of the race last week before he got disqualified quite unfairly, but you know, sometimes it is the way it is. And we could, TD, crown a champion here tonight.
You can crown 2 champions.
No, we can't.
Yeah, you can.
I've done the maths.
No, you can.
No, we can't.
The champion of Nexus and the champion of eating.
Okay, we can definitely crown the champion of eating, but we can't crown the driver's champion tonight. We can crown the constructor's champion tonight. If Alpha Romeo, sorry, need to outscore AlphaTauri by over 12 points tonight. If that doesn't happen, AlphaTauri will be constructors champions for season 3. So I'll make sure to keep an eye on that tonight. The drivers' championship is not as clear cut, but definitely Ross is leading by quite a way. He is 83 points ahead with 5 races left. So you get the feeling that Tamino definitely needs to outscore Ross here by at least 10 points to keep the championship alive, but on average Tamino needs to outscore Ross by about 15 points, I want to say. Maybe, yeah, about 15 points per race. Constructors runner-up is close. It is close. We have Alfa Romeo on 228 and Williams on 214. And the battle for third is close as well. Red Bull 172, Mercedes 4 points behind that, and Aston Martin 19 points behind Red Bull. So it's close in the midfield. Two-1 France. I'm not French.
It's coming up.
You'll see the England game?
Yeah, it's coming up.
To be fair, we can play around every week. I'm happy with that.
We play on every week and I'm sorted.
Okay, and I think we're ready to go. I think we've got everyone.
Be back in 2.
You'll notice here... Sorry?
I'll be back in 2.
Alright, TD's going to get food.
I am correct, of course.
So, you may have noticed at the bottom of our little driver list there, AMS Tamino has joined AMS. Best of luck in AMS, mate. And I'm sure all the jokes about Tamino rather than Tamino is going to happen. And I'm going to try not to overuse that joke tonight. So round 18 then, what are we looking for? As we said, Alfa Romeo needs to outscore AlphaTauri by over 12 points. Otherwise, AlphaTauri will be Constructors' Champions here tonight. There's no mathematical way Ross can win the championship tonight. However, if he wins with fastest lap and Tamino fails to score, the gap will be extended at the top to 119 points, with a possible 112 points left. So pretty much if Ross scores 4th or 5th or above for the rest of the season, he will win the championship. We believe it's going to be all dry from what I've seen in Discord. Konnichiwa, Dayman. How are you? That is all the Japanese I know. And someone has gone out of the pits. Joseph Hales. Got a new host tonight in the attempt to fix the problems that I've had on the stream. So, if it works tonight, we know what the fix is. And TD is back. What food have you got?
Do you even need to ask?
No, you're right, the chat should ask. Chat, guess what food TD's eating? P.S. He loves pizza.
Don't know what you're on about.
Go on, Dayman. Arigato gozaimasu?
Huh?
Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Dayman knows some Japanese.
I don't know what that means.
Evening, TJ. Sushi. Are you eating sushi, Tom?
I'm not, no.
What are your thoughts on sushi?
Never had it.
Never had it, me neither. I don't like raw food, so I'll never have sushi in my life. So then, Joseph Hales kicking us off with the first qualifying lap of the week. Obviously, 3 tiers of racing. Thursday will be assist tier 1, Sunday will be assist tier 2, but tonight is the no assist tier. All these drivers using absolutely no assist whatsoever, and Joseph Hales has run wide at the first corner.
Looks like it might rain.
I think they've said in Discord it's going to be all dry.
Oh, okay.
We'll go on ball with Run here as he comes towards the final at the first corner. Hit your braking point. You can. The racing line says brake straight away, but you can stick it in and get away with it. Through this S section now. Most people tend to stay in 5th gear. Very iconic. And just feather the throttle as and when you need it. Plant it on the exit. Out of the Dunlop curve towards the 2 Degner corners. Can sling it through there, but easy to invalidate as well. Through this little right-hander, which sets you up for the hairpin, is an action point in the race. Watch out for that. Run out wide through these sweeping right-handers. Technically one giant right-hander, but sets you up for this 2-part left-hander called Spoon Corner. We'll be watching to see if anyone tries to extend track limits at Spoon to try and gain some time. Flat out, no DRS towards infamous 130R. Easy flat in this game. And pick your braking point for the final chicane, a right-left. Careful on the curbs, careful on the exit. Easy to spin. And the DRS comes just before the final line. And John currently is leading the way on a 30.8.
Both Red Bulls trying their mediums in Q1.
Evening, Asthma Frog. Nice joke there. Not talking about TD's dinner, are we? Yes, we are. Of course. This is TD we're talking about.
We don't talk about my food, then something's gone wrong.
True. It's like people talking about the spin god. If they don't talk about the spin god, something's wrong, isn't it? 21% chance of rain in all sessions, it seems. Okay, thank you, Damon. When am I going to toughen up and run NA? When
Never.
I can be bothered to turn off the assists, basically. I'm still not up to speed yet on the wheel, which is why I haven't raced so far. But long term, I'll try Wiggles. Tamino changed his name again? Yes, he did. He's now called Tamino.
Sounds like a Guerrero. Tamino crosses the line.
Well, if he gets pole position tonight, you know what our reaction's going to be. Oh, I just got used to calling him MVR Tamino as well. It's just very inconsiderate, really, isn't it?
Just call him NVR AMS goes Tamino. NVR AMS goes Tamino.
It's just such an easy joke to do, Wiggles. That guy goes P4 behind John, who has set that lap on the medium tyres. Nice lap there from John. D-Bomb, the second of 3 AMS drivers now in the no assist tier. Fairly can't make it tonight. I think there's a problem with this game. Oh, as Dayman goes for a bit of a spin out of spoon. I wonder how long it's going to take me to say spin out of spoon today. I don't think we ever found out. TD,
Wow.
what are you eating?
Wow, TJ, that's just really rude. Pizza, like usual.
What type of pizza?
Chicken with her dressing again. I was gonna go for Italian hot, but I'm a pussy with spice, so I didn't bother.
Lovely. You heard it here first. I might do a command with your name on it and just have that quote.
I'm a pussy spice. Oh, TJ definitely supports Man United, that's why.
Potentially.
He's a scum.
Oh well, let's try not to insult everyone.
I support Leeds. Man United
That's fair enough.
are scum.
You got a natural vendetta against them. That's okay. But I'm more of a neutral. I only hate 2 clubs. I'm not going to say what they are. Oh, Padge. Going for a spin at the first corner. Very easy to do on that second right-handed curb there. One set, lovely. So much understeer turn 1. Yeah, we saw you run wide, Joseph. But the hard work pays off. Second lap makes you fastest. Bottom 2 going to be dropping out of this session. Typical Man United fan. I've got a brilliant Man United fan story. I don't know if you want to hear it. If you want to hear it, type in chat. But I don't want to clutter up the F1 commentary with football stuff. Smaller Smiley to the final chicane. Very tricky series of corners, and MRL Punk DTS has joined. If you're watching, please don't join. This is a league race. Smaller Smiley, nice lap there. Goes fastest. Looked good in practice, Smaller Smiley. Let's hear it. Okay. So, I live in a place called Rochdale, and I work in a place called Oldham, and the Metrolink, which is like a tram link, obviously goes from Manchester to Rochdale, and on the way passes through Oldham where I work. So I finish work at like 10:30. I get on the tram on a Friday or a Saturday night. I get on the tram, and there's these United fans, and they go, "Ooh!" I get on the tram and they go, "Way!" And I think, "Oh right, I'm already hating this tram ride." And then they start banging on the windows, literally, like so hard, shouting, "We'll follow United! We'll follow United!" There's blood on the floor. There's glass everywhere. And one stop into my journey, we have to get off the tram because it's so damaged. And it's all thanks to Man United fans. So, TJ, you've cost me 10 minutes of my life that I'll never get back. I think it's quite a good story, to be fair.
That is amazing. Tell your story about Old Trafford.
My story about Old Trafford?
No, my story. I was at a game at
We'll
Old
let the
Trafford.
chat decide. Go on.
Right, so I have a World Cup final. The Rugby World Cup final. Playing at Old Trafford. And second half, this is, do you know girls' one piece that they have, and it's all connected. A guy comes running onto the pitch with a one piece on, literally everything hanging out. Shoots about 4 stewards with a wig on, and it was the funniest thing ever.
Oh my word.
It was funny as well.
Oh dear. How long did it take you to erase that memory from your brain?
It's still in my memory. I'm haunted for life.
Five minutes left of session. We'll get back to F1 stuff pretty quickly. Prev is currently safe, but with 4 drivers yet to set a time. DTS has picked a car,
I'm gonna
which is
message him.
concerning. Is he in our league? Maybe he's in our league.
No, he's not.
He's not, okay. We'll send him a message on Xbox. So, Prev, as I was saying, is technically safe, but might not find himself safe once Deton, Tamino, and Ross get their laps on the board. Thank you, Joseph, appreciate that. Tamino on the medium tyres. And invalidates his first attempt. What about his teammate, Deton, going... I think he's out of fuel, maybe? I don't know.
He's got no front wing. I know he does. I don't know. Weird.
Maybe it's just an outlap. Maybe he messed up the final corner. Ross, meanwhile, is on his first flying lap of the session. Hey, Fairley. Yeah, likewise. Very gutted you can't make
Ross.
it. Oh, as Ross goes for a... Keeps it out the wall, so be able to go again. It's quite rare that you see Ross having a bit of a spin.
Too much sweating on time trial that he's done.
Maybe he's had a bevy. It still says he's got a purple sector too. So, good job, Ross.
What I put one middle sector. He's gone about 12 seconds faster than everyone up to that corner.
Well, Ross pits.
Oh god, this is going to be close.
He'll need to leave straight away if he wants to get into Q2. Tamino has invalidated again, so and he's got the fuel light flashing. So I wonder if
that's Tamino's
out. Going to be out of this session.
That's Tamino out.
He might be able to squeeze one more lap in, but he might risk running out of fuel towards the end.
When it's fuel light flashing, it's under 1 lap, so.
Oh, this is going to be interesting now.
That's
Go
on.
Oh, he's hit the wrong corner.
He's done Latifi.
And now he's on the escape road.
He's done a Latifi.
So Tamino's out. Not enough time for Tamino to get back out on track.
Ross is going out.
Still,
I think.
We'll keep an eye on Ross. Deaton, as we
Ross is going out now.
thought, carries on for another lap. Latifi.
I said it's the Latifi. Oh my god, it's going to be very tight with Ross. It literally has to go full blast this lap.
So 1 minute 20 seconds left, and Ross is coming around the first corner. I'm not sure he's going to make it, you know.
He was coming out of the pits at 1 minute 29. He can't have a slow lap, he has to go fast the whole time.
Thankfully he's got no one in front of him, but I'm not sure Ross is going to make it. Deflatorway doesn't think so either. Ross and Tamino last the first challenge, possibly. Deaton here might not be under that much pressure, but he might not know it. From his perspective, Deaton, Ross is out on track and he can see it, but he doesn't know that Ross may not get a lap here. So Deaton will be pushing to try and beat those 2 Ferraris at the very minimum. Are you watching Ross?
Yeah.
Can you watch if he cuts any corners?
Yeah. How long does the last sector take?
I don't know.
It's got 15 seconds.
So Deaton across the line and goes 14th, and that will definitely put him through. Prev might be at risk unless Ross can cross this line.
2, and he spins.
And he spins anyway and bins the car. So yeah.
I think it'd have been about a second.
Due to invalidated lap times and a few issues here and there, Tamino and Ross will be starting at the back of the grid.
Top 2 in the championship.
Wow. Yeah, the championship can't be decided today, but certainly if Tamino was in Q3 and Ross starting last, that would be a perfect opportunity for him to get a championship back under his control, but he hasn't taken the opportunity. Tamino with a couple of crucial invalidations there. Oh, Prev goes for a bit of a spin at Spoon, but it won't matter. He's already through anyway. So is his teammate Ranier. Mr. Wiggles, though, topping the timing screens, the only one in the 1 minute 29s at the moment. Smaller Smiley up there in second place, less than a tenth away from the top. And then you've got a tight battle between Deflatorway, Joseph House, John, and D-Bomb. Pretty close between that guy, Perry Jerry, and Colucci. Dayman and Greg pretty close as well. And Ross just said in Discord, YouTube it is. He's going on YouTube for half an hour.
Yeah, actually has as well.
He makes me laugh, Ross. So the one thing this is definitely going to produce for us is a really interesting race to see where they can battle back to. But really, Tamino a couple of times this season has done really good drives from the back of the field to the front of the field.
Well, Belgium it went for master first, so
Exactly. I feel like there's more opportunity at Belgium to overtake, whereas here it's a little bit tricky. So potentially we may not see that again tonight, but I'm sure Mr. Wiggles, with Ross and Tamino out of the way, shall we say, I'm sure Mr. Wiggles will be hoping for a race win here tonight, where possibly he could have got it last week in Singapore. Tamino and Ross are heading out, and Punk DTS is a random.
we love a good randomer.
Speak for yourself. Going to be a good watch. We'll make sure that TD is on.
Punk DTS has finally left.
We'll make sure TD in the race is on Ross or Tamino duty.
I'll just be staring at them before this.
Oh, we need to have a look at feature driver. Who's feature driver tonight?
Smaller Smiley. That's my guess.
I have already done Smaller Smiley.
Oh, damn it.
It's going to be Runnier tonight.
You did run here last week.
No, we didn't.
I swear you did.
Can you check then?
Yeah.
I think last week it was Smaller Smiley.
Give me 2 seconds.
One of them will still win. Well, let's hope not. Otherwise that's ridiculous. So then, Q2 15 minutes, bottom 5 dropping out, top 10 will go through in the fight for pole position. Mr. Wiggles pretty close behind a Williams of Joseph Hales, I think. Oh, I can hear myself. Ferrari is first out. Prev. Still got 5 drivers still in the pits, but a couple coming out as we speak. Very much a typical start to Q2. Everyone on soft compound tyres. President made it through just into Q2. Can he get into Q3? Looked like he went a bit too hot there into turn 1. Really beautiful section. Shift down to 4th, back up to 5th. Nice line through the Dunlop curve. Storming now towards the 2 Degner corners. Yeah, Ross, I saw your message in Discord that you were going on YouTube. I found it too funny. Only of safety cars. I don't think they would catch Wiggles without. They need luck on their side. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I expect to see moves down the inside. I mean, there's only a few good overtaking opportunities here. You can pretty much overtake anywhere. The S section, you might see some overtakes. So Prev, first around the track in Q2 and sets us off with a 1 minute 31.9. Mr. Wiggles does a 1 minute 30.1. John goes quicker on a 29.8. Joseph Hill slots into third on a 30.5. Deaton will be in fourth place after his first run. D Dayman steals that fourth place away. Got Renier coming to the line, who has done a banker lap.
I can't find who did. Who you did.
I think I had a week off. I think I might have given myself a week off. Anyways, we'll do Renier today. If we've done him already, then
You can have
that's
it again.
good news for Renier.
I think you've done it at some point. I remember you talking about Renier.
Well, I mean, he's the only driver I can do tonight. Next week in Qatar we'll have John. And then the only one left to do is Pete,
What did
who
you
is
just
not here
say?
tonight.
Cotter?
Yeah, Kota?
Curter.
Oh, fine. Kota. Didn't realise you were in a business studies class. Smiley, I've already done Smiley. He's been ticked on my list. I've got tick boxes.
You've
That's
done
why
Renier.
I thought... Have I?
Yeah.
When?
Italy.
Oh, well. Sorry, Renier. Okay, I'll... You sure it's on Tuesday, yeah? Not 81
Yeah.
or 82?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the only two left to do then is John and Pete. And we'll do John next week for his home Grand Prix.
Yeah, you're going to say yeah.
And
we'll do
obviously Pete's not here today, so we will leave feature driver today. Thanks for proving me wrong, Tom.
I always have to prove you wrong.
Can you check who was the first? Who did I do in Bahrain for feature driver? 'Cause I might do them again if they're still here.
Can we do research at 8 o'clock at night? I'm trying to eat my pizza.
You offered to do the research. GG's all around, but of course that is. Can you turn me down? This is a bit like Inception going on now.
Tell you a bit more about our featured driver.
No! Smaller Smiley, nice lap, there goes P2. And that should comfortably see him through into Q3. Wiggles should be safe as well. Deflated Wee and Perry Jerry on a 30.2 as well, should be
You
up
did
there.
chives.
Chives, okay, well, he's not here, so. We mean Chivers. Chivers
What
now.
his name is. What his stupid name is.
Me and CD have history with Chivers, so we can say that. I might suffer the FPS issues and come join in. Hey Novatech, hey Tamino. Itching to race, sat watching this, I bet. Fairly message Ross on Discord. The fact that I'm not out in Q1 is a surprise. The fact I'm also not last on my Q1 tyres is more so. Maybe you got more pace than you think, Deaton. Was I a featured driver? Yes, I have. You ticked on my list. I can't remember what race. What's happening with the England game next Tuesday, by the way? We're racing? Yes, we're not cancelling any races for the football. Otherwise, we'd be cancelling every race because we have a very international grid. For instance, France is playing right now. That's probably where Flu is, so I think that's fair. And towards this end of the season, it really is where the championship is won and lost. So we don't want to ruin anyone's chance at a championship here. How is everyone? I'm good, thank you, Novotone. TD's eating pizza, so I think he's good as well.
I finished my pizza, but I found the earliest one that you can do.
Who's that?
Mr. IIRL S3.
Oh, when did we feature IIRL S3?
In Australia, around 3.
Australia, wow. We'll redo IIRL S3 then.
The man who
In
is
the
currently
5-minute break.
watching YouTube.
Oh, Wiggles goes through spoon and just has a bit of a snap on the exit. Corrects it nicely there, but will have lost time.
It makes me laugh watching that Australia stream because when you were saying about feature driver, you go, and we're going to do feature driver now. And because I'm a really dedicated streamer, I definitely didn't forget to pick one.
Oh, that is so me as well. Wiggles, fastest of the bunch by over 3/10. And that will not only put Wiggles into Q3, but put him likely top of the charts. Well, because I'm a really dedicated streamer, we got IIRL S3 as feature driver tonight. Do I remember where? No, I can't remember, Tamino. I do apologise. Maybe in my next season, my next spreadsheet I create, I'll put that. I'll have a section where I
am
put
going to find
which race.
where Tamino did it.
TD research boy today.
I am the research man.
Whatever side of the bed I got out of, or what I have for breakfast, or what I had for tea before the race. More of that, please. Oh, it's nice to see you up there, Smaller. Really nice to see you up there.
It's not, but
How many podiums has Smaller had? Gosh, I'm in my...
probably about 1 because smaller is terrible.
Wow.
He knows I don't mean
wow.
it.
Actually, he's got 2 podiums this season and a race win, so screw you, TD.
He's got more race wins than me.
Oh, that's a Ferrari pointing backwards. Thankfully, he's ghosted. That could be Prev, actually, on his outlap.
Thought it might have been me.
Rain in 60 minutes. I think we should be done in terms of quali.
I don't think we will.
So we should be all safe from the rain. Padge yet to set a lap time. Needs to beat Dayman's win at 31.4 if he wants to get through provisionally into Q3. Yeah, who knows, Tamino. Fingers crossed at least. The sun is shining in Japan, so beyond all the shade created by this beautiful tree-filled environment in this final sector. Back out into the sun. So Pajestic then to the line, shouldn't be last, and it's P9. Nice little lap there from Patch. Gets himself provisionally into the next part of qualifying, and across the line goes Greg up into 10th, 4 milliseconds ahead of Colucci, and puts himself provisionally too into Q3. What's up, Novitech? What's happening, mate? Renier has done 4 laps on that same set of soft compound tyres, so potentially this may not be the quickest lap he can manage here. He still is up in Sector 1 though. So it looks pretty close out there. Checker Flag has fallen, Mr. Wiggles, John, Smaller Smiley, That Guy, Deflated Wheat, and Perry Jerry. All of the top 6 will definitely be safe and through to Q3. Joseph Hales will probably be safe on that 30.5, and D-Bomb may be safe on that 30.7. Really, from Padge down to Runier, it will look like a close fight. Dayman and Prev have ducked into the pits and will be leaving in Q2. Runier comes to the line and goes 13th fastest and can't make it through. Going by with Deton, who through the middle part of the lap is 3/10 up, or the first part of the lap, sorry, 3/10 up. Still 3/10 up in Sector 2. Needs another few tenths in this final sector if he wants to make it through. And invalidates at the final chicane. So Deton showed some good promise there, but unfortunately for him, invalidates at a crucial moment. And Colucci gets himself into Q3. D-Bomb improves by a 10th, but that doesn't matter too much. He is already through, and so is Joseph. Unfortunately for Greg, Dayman, Runier, Prev, and Deton, Q2 is their exit stage. But a great Q2 performance for Colucci and Padge. 2 drivers who have to really fight all their hardest to get a perfect lap in to make it to Q3. So congratulations to them too. Top 8 a bit more as we expected, those drivers to get through. Obviously missing 2 big names if you're just joining us. Irosh J and Tamino out in Q1 and will start at the back of the field. 8-10 set up but backed off to save tyres. That's a good idea from Joseph, who makes it through in P7. What do I think will be a pole lap? Or so in Q1 we saw a 29.9. In Q2 we had a 29.5. I reckon maybe a 29.3. You think a 28.6? So 9/10 quicker than what Mr. Wiggles did in this session. Wow. I mean, I'm not used to racing at the front and setting incredible lap times, so my prediction would be a 29.3. But we'll have to wait and see, of course. Mr. Wiggles, John Smaller, That Guy, We, Perry Jerry, Joseph, D-Bomb, Colucci, and Patch.
If I see a 28.6, I'll do what I said the other week.
Which is?
Jump into my local reservoir.
Wiggles, if you're hearing this, please do a 28.6. I really want to watch you jump into a reservoir. TJ predicting a 28.9. Bit quicker than what I was predicting, but I guess we'll find out. Deflated I don't know about the track evolution here. Obviously, you gain time through the corners a lot of the time, so with the track layout here, the more rubber on the track will help you through the corners.
I won't lie to you, Tim.
Don't lie to me then.
I can't find Tamino anywhere on S3 when you've done it.
Really?
I can't find him.
Try Hungary. Have you tried Hungary?
Yes. The only two that I can't get, because it's not actually been uploaded to the YouTube, is Spain and Miami.
Oh, Spain rings a bell.
So I don't know.
I'll let Tamino decide. Tamino, do you want to be feature driver tonight? We can't seem to find you, but I have ticked you on my list. I know I'm a bit dozy sometimes, but I don't think I'm that stupid. But if you want to be feature driver tonight, I'll let you be feature driver. Huh?
I think you are a bit dozy to do that, to be honest.
I'm not. I'm on top of my spreadsheets. The driver stats are impeccable. And you can't say they're not.
They're wrong because it hasn't got 20 wins under my name.
So Q3 then, well underway. Still 2 in the pits, Perigeri and D-Bomb. Padge starting a lap time, the 7th driver to do so. Smaller Smiley just come into the final chicane now to start his lap. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1. I think someone's backed out of their time. I think it possibly it's one of the blue cars. It might be Joseph Hales or Deflated Wee. I think it's Joseph Hales. I think he's backed off his time.
It's Joseph.
It is Joseph. I'm good
and
at my
it's
job.
banned food date no one.
But it doesn't really matter too much. He was already on a slow lap anyway, so
It'd been in the gravel.
Ross hasn't replied. Try him again. I will message in Discord. Wiggles crosses the line to do the fastest lap we've seen tonight. A 29.6. That guy out of nowhere has come in with that blistering pace. Also a 29.6. Deflated Wee has done a 29.7. Padge does a 30.3 in what is his best lap time of the evening. Hungry Throne is here and is late. I didn't know he was late, but there we go.
I'll tell you what. Padge looks good this week.
He does.
Which is good to see.
A Smaller Smiley, 29.8, putting himself in P4. Colucci at the moment bringing up the rear, but still 4 times to go on the 30.5. Yeah, Novitech, don't put that in the stream chat if that's alright. That's kind of the worst way for someone to know about that kind of stuff. But as if ever you have any problems about anyone in the league, just let someone in management know, and we'll try and sort it the best we can. John into the pits then. Won't finish his first flying lap. Perry Jerry though, got on board with the Hash driver through his first attempt. Pretty nice balance of the car. Nicely controlled through the first Degner. Second
Looks very
Degner
committed
again.
for it.
Kissing the curves beautifully. Something I wish I could do on the wheel yet. Goes in fourth through the hairpin. Make sure you don't get any wheel spin.
I've seen a
Might lose
variation
a fraction of time.
in drivers. I've seen third, second, fourth, so it's just interesting to see how much they can put the throttle down both over here with the hairpin.
Bit of a slight hesitation through spoon there for Perry, but we'll only have lost maybe a tenth
It's a good lap though.
in that. It is a good lap as well. It definitely could be a 29 or a very low 30.
It's been very committed through the corners.
Yeah, that final chicane looks pretty good. And this should be a 29. It's a
Oh, very
0.4.
nice.
And we said it looked good. Well, it is good.
Yeah, it was very committed through all the corners and it just looked like a really good flowing lap.
From Wiggles on board, it looks like he's using pretty low ride heights. Well, maybe it could be a meta, but at the moment, needs a couple of tenths if he wants to get on provisional pole. Indeed, nice lap from Perry. D-Bomb, Joseph Hales on flying laps. D-Bomb late out of the pits. Joseph Hales had issues on his first run. It's up to me. I'll leave it up to TD. Should we have Tomino as feature driver tonight?
Yeah, go on.
Alright, there we go. So D-Bomb goes 6th fastest, ahead of his teammate, where he has been all of qualifying so far. But the gap is reducing between those two McLaren drivers.
Oh,
Pretty close up there at the top. Perry Jerry 0.4, Wiggles and that guy on a 0.6, Wee on a 0.7, and Smiley on a 0.8. Honestly, it's anyone's guess who's going to get pole here out of those top 5 drivers.
Oh, Joseph
Oh,
looks his
and a
rears.
big slide.
That
I haven't
look
seen a
lost in at
slide
least
like that
3-4
since,
times.
I haven't seen a slide like that since a young person came into work with some sliders on the other week.
Get in the bin.
I know, I felt a bit stupid saying it, to be fair.
Joseph is still lucky to have that lap time though, because he went off at Spoon, and it's got him the fastest sector by 2 tenths.
Yeah, so maybe that snap at the final corner, final chicane, possibly was quite fair in that respect.
He lost in the final sector 6 tenths to Perry Jerry.
Wow. Indeed, Padge does have pretty good pace. See what he can do on his second run. Mr. Wiggles there is up in sector 1, but invalidates through the first Degner corner. He should get another run, and he's got plenty of battery charge left. Joseph Hill's going for another flying run. Thinks he can beat that time. Screw that. Scrap that, sorry. He's 1 second down. Gosh, English is so difficult today.
That'll be it for Joseph. He won't be able to get another lap in.
Josh, your guess is as good as mine, mate. I am not up to speed yet. Put it this way, a good lap for me is 3 seconds off of Wiggles' pace. That's all I'm saying. That's a good lap for me. So I'm still nowhere near ready yet. I was already kind of a second and a bit off the pace anyway of Wiggles, so... You'll most likely see me on Sunday nights if ever I make an appearance.
The spin god will return.
Yeah, and I'll have a lot more spins now I'm on the wheel.
You had enough before. Never mind, on wheel. Oh, Wiggles. That's Wiggles' turn to pull over.
Colucci invalidates at the final corner, and that will be an end to his session. Mr. Wiggles cannot get pole position. You saw him there off the track, and no chance of another lap time. Perry Jerry here could be on for what I'm going to call a shock pole position tonight.
That guy is a 10.5 up there in the first sector, so make sure to watch out for him and deflated.
Smaller Smiley comes to the line to start a new lap time, and D-Bomb comes into the pits. 7th is the best that he can hope for right now. We round the final chicane to start a brand new lap time with only 10 seconds left on the clock. That guy is marginally up in sector 2. This might be good enough for a front row spot, but needs a mighty last sector if he wants to get pole position. Oh, and he spun it out of the final corner. So unfortunate there for that guy who ducks back into the pits.
Oh yeah, but he was.
Wow. John goes fastest on his first valid flying lap of the session.
Perry spun as well.
Padge is invalidated. Mr. Wiggles is not going to make it. Perry Jerry has spun. The only one left is Smaller Smiley.
And deflated Wee, don't the foot.
And deflated Wee.
Wee's 2 tenths up in the first sector.
But what a lap time from John to come out there out of nowhere. We thought Perry Jerry, we thought Mr. Wiggles was going to get pole. Then we thought Perry Jerry was going to get pole. And now it turns out John may very well get pole. Smaller Smiley, 1/10 up in sector 2. It's good enough for maybe a top 5 right now. But a good last sector might put him up to as high as 3rd right now. Across the line he comes, and he goes 6th fastest.
He's lost a lot of time in another sector.
So just a 10th improvement will put him up to 3rd. And he goes 4th, I think.
It is 4th.
It is 4th for Deflated Wee. And Punk has joined again. Please leave if you are watching. Maybe send him another message. But John, from out of nowhere to get pole position. Very well done, John. And let's have a look. That is John's first IRL pole position. Congratulations, John. Very well done. Well deserved tonight. Perry Jerry, unlucky to miss out on a pole position here tonight, but row 1 on the grid, I'm sure he's happy with that. Mr. Wiggles and Deflated Wee have used to race each other a lot this season. They're going to be doing it again from 3rd and 4th on the grid. That guy 5th. Smaller Smiley in P6. Joseph Hills and D-Bomb on row 4. Padge and Colucci, as they were in the previous session, 9th and 10th. I am borrowing my wheel from my brother. He says he doesn't have enough time to use it and get used to it. So he said, if you can make use of it, then go for it. So I'm borrowing his wheel. Best of luck to Mino and Joseph in the chat. You'll get there, I say, by the start of season 4, you'll be able to compete at a high level in AT. I hope so, Josh. I do hope so. But we'll have to wait and see. Damn it, a 29.4 was in that, bottled the middle sector and the run to the line. Unfortunate there for Deflated Wee, but fourth on the grid, still pretty good. Can achieve a good podium finish from fourth on the grid. Tamino might not be there, but we still get a check on the front row, indeed. So, speaking of Tamino, let's do his feature driver form. Feature driver, in case you're not aware, you're watching this for the first time, or one of the very few times you've watched, it's a way for us to get to know our drivers a bit better. So, Tamino, 18 years of age, from the Czech Republic. He is currently a student, and his dream job would be a game programmer.
Please program
hobby.
a better F1 game.
I echo that. Ghost could be our saviour. For his hobbies and interests, he likes F1 and metal. I assume that's the music, metal music. Not just a fan of metal surfaces.
You never know.
Racing on a Thrustmaster TMX this season. Favourite driver of all time is either Max Verstappen or Ayrton Senna. And his best track on the calendar is Monaco. You don't see that very often, do you?
Monaco.
As for his racing strengths, he says qualifying pace and tyre management. Obviously, qualifying hasn't been his cup of tea tonight. Will be starting at the back of the grid. And hopes and goals for Season 3. Some wins or podiums would be amazing. And considers Snacks a rival.
I tell you what, I'd rather listen to you for 20 hours than do Monaco.
That's the weirdest thing anyone ever said to me. Goes to Tamino then. In 32 IRL races, he has 14 pole positions. Absolutely incredible. 4 race wins, 8 podiums, 17 points finishes, and has over 260 total IRL racing points. Very impressive stuff from Ghost. And yeah, Ghost and Mr. Wiggles, I think, have, and fairly actually, are in a tight battle for most pole positions here in the league. So it'd be interesting to see who comes out on top at the end of Season 3. Bromance developing there. I've known TD longer than this league. Was it lockdown when we first...
August 2020.
He remembers the month and the year. I don't remember. I'm such a bad friend.
That is so... Just go away. I'm not commentating with you.
If it hadn't been for me, you would be commentating. I don't think you'd ever get into commentating if I wasn't there. Go on, say I'm wrong. He's not replying. No, I've known TD a while now. We had some fun races in lockdown back when I was still, well, not still, back when I was able to beat him on track, but I haven't been able to beat him on track for a good year and a bit. Maybe he'll start talking now. Get a room, ooh. My wife would not allow that. Well, TD's still not talking. It's right, I'll make him laugh in a minute. I usually do. He's doing Monaco. Very quick, deflate away. Very quick. I enjoy a quick joke. So 27 laps here in Japan. We have 2 drivers out of position on the grid. IIRL and Ghost, well, now known as AMS Tamino. Out of position at the back of the field after an unfortunate Q1 for them both. So expect to see them making moves up the field. Potentially could be in with some incidents tonight if they're a bit too zealous with their moves, perhaps. And we should be getting going very shortly. Time up. Underway. No formation lap. So after this... Wait, he left the party. That's why he's not talking. He's not in the party anymore. Why are you not in the party? So we'll be getting going in 5 seconds time. No formation lap. So John is on pole for the first time in his IRL career, and he has the distinct privilege of leading this pack away. Will he get a good start, and will there be a change into turn 1? Race is underway here. It's a tentative start, looks like. There's a McLaren going off track. That is majestic. John, good start there. Bit congested going into turn 1. We have Joseph Hills running wide and getting overtaken. Oh, and a McLaren of D-Bomb is off and spun out of turn 2. So far so good though for the rest of them. The 2 McLarens have had poor starts. I think not too sure what's happened with Padge, but off the start he looked like he just got on the grass and let people through. But for D-Bomb, he'll need a really good pace here to get back into the fray. Punk in 12 has left the lobby, but his ghost will still be there, his AI. Ross, meanwhile, is already up to P8. Make that P7 as he looks to get past Joseph Hales, who has to go wide at Spoon. And Ross J is already up 11 places off the start. What an incredible start Ross has had.
How is he in P7?
I mean, you know what we thought back when he was hosting the lobby. Oh, as Ross goes for a move.
Yeah.
It's Joseph, sorry, goes for a move down the inside of Ross. Makes contact in the front. Meanwhile, Small the Smiley has gone off at the chicane and has come back on track, and Ross has now gone up past him into 6th.
That was a sensible move by Joseph. It wasn't close enough.
Thankfully, it didn't cost Ross too much. In fact, he's actually gained a position out of it. But Mr. Wiggles, Deflated Wee's had a brilliant start, by the way. He's up past Wiggles and Perry Jerry now, and is already on the back of our race leader, John. It's top 5 or 6 now. The gaps are being closed. Usually we see 1 or 2 run off with a 1 second lead in this opening couple of laps, but the field is very close and packed together here. Deaton and Runnier, I think, has maybe had an incident. Runnier has spun at the Dunlop curve, and Deaton has lost a bit of ground in the last lap. But D-Bomb is catching up to the back of the field. Tamino in 15th place, so hasn't had the lightning start that Ross has had, but still hoping for some more positions gained in this race as they thunder down now towards final chicane. The end of lap 2, John leads Deflated Wee by 0.4 of a second.
Ross is going for a move on his teammate.
Gets it done. Good move there from Ross. Ahead we've got Mr. Wiggles trying to get past Perry Jerry. Lap 3 of 27, DRS is now enabled. John not able to pull a second gap on Deflated Wee because he's using the hard compound tyres in this first stint.
Ooh, Rust on the inside of Wiggles.
Oh, Wiggles! Oh, it looks like maybe Ross has tagged him.
No, he just lost the back end. Rust didn't do anything wrong there.
I don't know. From my angle, it looked like there was a bit of wheel contact. And that may not be the reason why Wiggles lost it, but I think it may have contributed to it.
That was it didn't do anything. When Wiggles
We'll have to
actually
wait and
lost
see,
it,
of
it was
course.
just losing traction.
Smaller Smiley, nice run on that guy. Chooses the outside
Oh,
line
John
for the
John
final
round.
chicane. Oh, John John's round. And what has happened to our race
Where's
leader?
the plate round as well.
It's all going on,
Second
and
place.
it's all going on, and we've seen none of it on stream. It's really annoying. Can you spin when we're watching you next time, please? Wiggles pits, so he has damage potentially from hitting the wall, and boxes onto a new set of medium compound tyres. So John was round at the final corner, and Deflated Wee, who was second, also made a mistake at the final corner. I'm going to put 2 and 2 together here and say that maybe there was some contact between John and Deflated Wee. But now Perry Jerry leads the race. If he wasn't disappointed enough about not getting pole position earlier, he's now leading the race and has a 1 second gap on Ryrosh J. Don't forget, Alfa Romeo need to outscore Alpha Tauri by at least 12 points if they want to stay within the Constructors' Championship. But both Alpha Tauris are on the podium, which means they will be Constructors' Champion at the end of the race.
I can tell you what happened.
Go on.
Deflated went into the back of John.
Oh. You do hate to see and hear stories like that. Perry Jerry sets the new fastest lap of the race. Smaller Smiley with the DRS has really good pace on these mediums. Only 2.2 off the lead is Smaller Smiley. Definitely seems to be his best performance pace-wise so far this season. But if that guy can stick within racing distance of the top 3, will find himself on a better set of tyres for the second stint. Tell you who also has had a really good start, Mr. Colucci's up to P6. Really strong start from him. Oh, and Perry Jerry spun! He spun at the second Degner corner underneath the bridge. He had a 1 second gap on Ross, so it's safe to assume no contact there. As down the inside of Perry Jerry now goes IIRL Greg, who has also had a really strong start. Behind them we've got Tamino flying past John around the outside of the hairpin. And behind John we've got Dayman and Hungry Throne, who started at the back of the field too. Tamino looks to be on the charge.
Perry Jerry just lost it and hit the wall.
And Tamino has flown past Greg here. He's not using any ERS. Tamino must have very low wings. Down the inside. Greg avoids contact as Perry Jerry pits. It's very congested in this midfield pack. Tamino defending from John, Greg, Hungry Throne, Prev, Dayman and D-Bomb, you can see at the back of the train, who has caught up to the field nicely after a bit of a spin at turn 1. But somehow, 6 laps in, Ross goes from last to first.
It's like a Verstappen in Belgium, how we went to
Oh, and it was spun now. Tamino has spun. Tamino!
Tamino!
Oh, I apologise. It should be. Oh, as deep into the corner goes Greg, under pressure here from Hungry Throne. And he forces Greg into that mistake and takes over ownership of 8th place. John, meanwhile, is in 7th now and starting to pull away from this gap a little, from this pack a little bit.
This race has been absolutely chaos so far.
As things stand, Ross winning the race. He is only, I think, 4 points away from winning the championship.
He's got one hand on the title at the minute.
He's had one hand on the championship for a while now as Joseph Hills overtakes that guy into the final chicane and gets the DRS. Very nice there for Joseph. Mr. Colucci having a really, really strong race here. He's only 1 second away from a battle for P3.
Up 5 places, which is very solid from Colucci. Hungry Fern also up 11 places.
This is definitely Colucci's best start to a race that I've seen.
Yeah, by far. He's in DRS of that guy as well.
Japan is chaos. Yes, it is, Novatech.
He's 1.7 seconds off of the podium at a minute. I don't think he's got a podium yet, does he?
I will quickly check. No podium for Colucci. His 34th or 35th race so far.
He definitely wants it.
This might be his best opportunity. Obviously, he's staying with that guy because he's on the quicker set of tyres right now, but he's still holding off Deflated Wee, which is no easy task. Majestic has had a couple of spins recently in the last few laps. He's now at the back of the field as Dayman gets the first time penalty of Japan week.
Easily done.
Only 8 laps in as well, so potential for a lot of these drivers to have penalty-free races. Oh, Colucci's lost it! Oh no! Oh, that's such a shame. We were all hoping for Colucci to have a really strong result here. Oh, and that is such a shame. When stuff like that happens, you can't help but just go, oh no.
That'll be 2 hot tyres. Oh, and he's beached. He's beached. Oh, Colucci, oh thank you.
Well, I hope for Colucci's sake that he gets a safety car to bring him back into this. Because that opening 8 laps or so, he definitely deserves some points tonight.
His tyres are too hot, he can't keep it in a straight line at a minute. He's beached again.
Oh dear. Oh no. It's Ferrari versus McLaren, battles we've seen in real life, especially last season. Revisiting that now. D-Bomb trying to get past Prev, who has struggled in qualifying tonight, but finds himself in P9 on the back of Greg. So, Prev's having a pretty strong race right now. Here comes D-Bomb, partially alongside into turn 1, gives him space. No real opportunity to overtake down the inside for D-Bomb as Mr. Wiggles down in P17 right now has a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting.
Naughty boy.
How is Ross first? Ross is first because
Carnage.
Deflated Wee and John have had an incident in the final chicane and both of them lost time.
Wiggles span.
Wiggles span.
Heavy Jerry span.
Who else? Perry Jerry span and pitted. And Ross just had an insanely good start as well. He was already up 10 places before any of that happened. And all of a sudden, Smaller Smiley is now only 7 tenths away from the lead. I wonder if Ross has had a bit of a mistake somewhere. We know he had a bit of a spin at Spoon in qualifying. But Smaller Smiley will be chuffed to bits that he is in the running for a potential race win here tonight.
The TikTok car trying to catch the YouTube man.
I like that, that's good.
Good on it.
I think that's the best commentator thing you said ever. Smiley's got the backing of Snacks. Maybe Snacks is just bored to see Ross winning all the time. Battle for P3 is intensifying. It's a nice word to use. And Perry has retired in the pits. No safety car will come out because of that.
Wasn't to be for Perry.
Qualified P2.
Oh, Wiggles has spun again.
There's a handful of drivers that when something happens like a spin or something, they just go into the pits and retire. Some people like to stay out, and even if it means being last, but some people just
stay out most of the time. Is when I crash and get damage and I'm really far back, that's when I retire.
Yeah, if you've got rear wing damage, I completely understand that. But I myself like to avoid DNFs on the record. I got too many of them in Season 1. Good battle here for P6. John defending from Hungry Throne. John fighting back on a recovery drive after a slight tangle with Deflated Wheat.
Look who is behind now as well. Deflated Wheat. He wants revenge.
Won't see you racing Thursday. That's a shame, Snacks. But yeah, do what you need to do, mate. Ross and Smaller here on identical strategies. Could we see potentially Smaller Smiley go for an undercut? What do you think, Tom?
Well, the pit window's open now, so it's possible.
Why is random people joining? Leave our lobby.
It's AMS
this is a
boys,
league
they've
race.
got too many things.
Go away. I will call you out on stream. Mr. Wiggles retires in the pits. Just a few too many either mistakes or incidents for him. And
he might still be having a
like
problem with his brake pedal as well.
Potentially. And what looked like a really promising qualifying session for Wiggles and Perry Jerry has turned into nightmare races. Thank you, Turbo. So, attempt number 2 for Hungry Throne, and he's not quite close enough to the back of John.
This is a very solid race from Hungry Throne. He's up 13 places. So it's combat drives from Ross and Hungry Throne.
Deflated comes out of the pits in front of the AI. Oh, and Joseph Hills is off!
Oh dear.
He's off at the Dunlop curve. Oh, he's got a big snap. He's got a 3-second penalty for extending track limits, and I wonder if for the 3rd race in a row he'll send that in to me to review. It seems to be just every week now, Joseph Hills is like, I don't want this penalty.
You might as well just be waiting for it. You might as well just tell him to send it in every week. You get a penalty, send it in.
All of a sudden, now this is a 3-way fight for 4th place.
John
that guy now has
sandwich.
What a horrible sandwich to be in.
Tell you what, Joseph's rear right tyre looks horrific. Ross into the pits.
As Ross pits, comes John. No move behind from Hungry Throne. He's hungry for a clean race. As into the pits now comes Joseph Hales. Are you laughing at me again? You were my tip tonight, says Fairley. Oh.
Bella said what?
Fairley said, FFS Wiggles, you were my tip tonight to win. We looked good in quali, certainly did. Plenty of people pitting this lap. Irosh J comes out in P7. And when you think he started at the back of the field, that is absolutely incredible first stint there from Ross. As Renier comes into the pits and speeds with a 5-second penalty. Later we and Joseph Hales.
7 seconds behind Ross. So I think undercut could be a little bit powerful. Because he's caught up quite a bit.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, because Smaller Smiley now leads this race. If he pits this lap, he only loses 1 lap on the undercut to Ross, but it could be too little too late now for Smaller to potentially win this race, unless Ross makes some mistakes. Still on board with John and Hungry Throne. Tamino hasn't pitted yet, up to 5th place. So Smaller Smiley, before the pit stop, was 1 second behind Ross. I'll have to wait and see how far behind Ross he is.
The problem for Ross is he's right behind Greg, so he's going to be losing time.
Very true, but he will get some DRS down this main straight. And Ross has had a super exit, and it's a very straightforward pass there for our championship leader.
And look at the time difference. He's going to have warm tyres, he's over a second ahead of Smaller.
But it's a lot closer than we were expecting. We thought the undercut here would be so powerful, and it turns out he's only really 1.5 seconds away from Ross here, so
the problem
it's
is
not over.
Smaller's going to be losing a lot of time through this sector. Whole tyres through the I can't remember what corners are called. The S section is not nice at all.
Tamino knows mediums have at least 12 laps in them. Okay, so based on that, probably see pit stops around lap 15 or 16 for mediums. So Ross has made really good time in this stint so far. He's now 2.5 seconds of Greg, who still has Smaller Smiley behind him. So Ross has extended his grip on this race win by a good undercut. And here comes Hungry Throne and John hitting at the same time here. And I expect them both to go onto medium compound tyres. John has.
And Hungry
So
Throne.
too Hungry Throne.
Hungry Throne has put on some new batteries. You get the joke?
No.
On the Williams car, it's got Duracell.
Ah. Very good. I think. Smaller Smiley is now made his way past IIRL Greg. Finds himself now 3.8 off of what is effectively the lead of the race. Once the top 2 pit, they will slot in behind Smaller Smiley. Not sure where Tamino will be.
Probably behind Joseph.
I think it'd be further back than that. I think possibly ahead of D-Bomb, but behind Joseph. Oh yeah. Maybe you're right.
He's got 25 seconds to D-Bomb, so...
That guy pits from the lead. It's be interesting to see where he comes out of the pits. Was running in a solid P3, so might find himself in between smaller and deflated wee, maybe in 5th or 6th. Dayman pits.
Yeah, stays in a net 3rd, but now we're cold tyres. I don't think we can rule that guy out though. Faster compounder tyres to the end and smaller in front, but he does have that penalty.
Greg, just trying to stay with that guy here. Has deflated wee behind him, closing in on a battle for 5th.
John John's right behind deflated as well.
A reverse of what we saw earlier. John was leading this race in the opening 2 or 3 laps. Deflated wheat gave him a bit of a nudge into the final chicane, and they both lost a huge amount of time. And now the roles are reversed. Will John coming up to this final chicane. I think we will have to hold our breath. Tamino, good point. Fairly might be going for softs here. Almost contact between these two. Deflated though, puts his car in the right place, but gets a poor exit out of the final chicane. And John here with the DRS takes the outside line. And Hungry Throne looks to get the pair of them. He's definitely got... wow, that was close. He definitely got deflated wee. He looked to fly down the inside of John and say, I'm going to catch you off guard here, but there just wasn't space, and Hungry Throne did well there to get out of the throttle and not stick his nose in a dangerous spot. And how many times have we seen these two fighting this season? AMS Tamino, IIRL J. This time we are expecting a bit more one-way traffic. Ross on the brand new tyres. Tamino still yet to pit, so he's going to lose 20 or so seconds. But Tamino here can do a good job holding up Ross. Maybe back him into smaller Smiley.
I think Tamino is trying the soft tyres.
Ross will have to wait another couple of corners through the chicane. Needs a good exit. Tamino's had a decent exit here, and he may still be ahead into turn 1. Here comes Ross. Battle for the race leads. Smaller Smiley's losing a lot of time. Smaller Smiley's lost over a second this lap. I wonder what's happened. Hungry Throne really close now to the back of John. Do you need an invite back? Tom? So Ross attacking the back of Tamino. Wonder how long softs can make it. Okay, Teely. Got just me for a while. Battles up and down the field. The two closest ones are this one we're watching between Tamino and Ross. You've got Hungry Throne right on the back of John. Safety car maybe. Colucci retires in the pits, so I doubt there'll be a safety car. Here comes Ross. Tamino defending really well. Gives Ross space on the outside, but cuts back in now, Ross. This just isn't as part of the track where you want to go side by side. Although he's going for it. Round the outside in the S section, no, not to be on this occasion. And Tamino is doing a really good job at defending. He's on 18 lap old hard tyres. This is the battle we've all wanted to see. The two title contenders. Ross is driving very mature. He's not making any silly mistakes here. He's not going into the back of Tamino. Yes, he's on brand new, well, fresh tyres. But he's not being impatient. He knows he's got a 4-second gap behind to Smaller Smiley, who is starting to close the gap. But is this Ross's opportunity to overtake? No, he backs up. He knows that wasn't his corner, and he knows there will be another opportunity in a minute. Smaller Smiley, meanwhile, is getting caught by that guy. Yes, he does have a time penalty here, but that guy with some good pace and better tyres may still end up in second place here. And here comes Ross now. Look to be side by side going into the chicane, but Tamino again parks his car in a perfect place. If you're watching and you're racing later in this week, this is how to defend that final chicane. Park your car on the inside and make sure you get a good brake spot. But here comes Ross now. Could this be the opportunity? Flies around the outside of Tamino, who looks to get back in it. But Ross has got the move done and takes the lead back of the Japanese Grand Prix. That was a truly incredible battle. And it just was a matter of time, really, for Ross. Tamino with those hard tyres. All that fighting, meanwhile, would leave Tamino's tyres in a bit less of a good situation, and he's lost a good 1.5 seconds in this first sector as a result. Now I wonder when Tamino is going to pit. No doubt that when Tamino pits onto a set of soft tyres, he will get the fastest lap of the race. Has he got a puncture? I wonder. Has Tamino got a puncture? We can't see it on our screens. I'm pretty sure he has a puncture. There's no way he is that slow and he's just let people through. I think Tamino has got a puncture. You can see he's losing speed on the straights. He's moving the wheel quite a bit to keep it steady. Tamino has a puncture. And it was one lap too many for Tamino. Oh, and what's happened to Smaller Smiley? Smaller Smiley's gone off in the final chicane. No one wants to keep their car on track, it seems. And all of a sudden, we have an AlphaTauri 1-2. Front left and rear right punctures for Tamino, who gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane because he can't slow the car down quick enough with the punctures. Smaller Smiley, after going off at the final chicane, now finds himself defending from John and Hungry Throne. This race just keeps on giving. Tamino out of the pits right behind his now league rival D-Bomb. And Tamino onto mediums. Good spot there, fairly. Maybe he forgot to change his strategy. Teammate, you don't have a league. Okay. So Tamino, obviously he has a brand new set of mediums on the car. Does have a time penalty, so I think once he gets past D-Bomb, he will get the 3-second gap he needs, or the 5-second gap he needs. As Smaller Smiley overtaken into turn 1 here, those hard tyres just aren't quite working for him. I've noticed this season, Smaller Smiley is very good on those mediums, but does tend to struggle a little bit on the hard tyres. And that is not a weakness of sorts. Those hard tyres are very difficult to get well and to use and to be so quick on. Hungry Throne, will he go for the move? He's quick, he's close enough. Smaller Smiley saw it coming and said, okay, Sunshine, I'll let you off. Fairly, Tamino went out in Q1. He has 3 or 4 brand new sets of Q1 of soft tyres. Padge, I think, has had a few spins early on and possibly some more since, but just hasn't been the race for him. Renier's had a bit of an up and down race. Deaton pits onto a brand new set of soft tyres. Don't worry about 13th place runner Punk DTS. He's not racing, and he will be moved down to the back of the standings and taken off the board. So Deaton will be promoted, as will Ranier and Pajestic. Tamino, as predicted, gets the fastest lap on the board and pulls a 3-second gap on D-Bomb already in 1 lap. I've not heard of MRL before. I've heard of many leagues, but not MRL. But yeah, thankfully he did leave before the race got going. Dayman a few seconds away from Greg and the final point of the race. But Greg has had a nice solid race there. D-Bomb has been consistently quicker than Greg in qualifying, but Greg is only 2.2 seconds off of D-Bomb. On identical strategy, no, Greg is on a, what you might call better strategy with this mediums in the last stage of the race. And Greg might have an opportunity to gain on D-Bomb in this final 5 laps. Tamino has the fastest lap of the race, set last lap. Ross leads his teammate at the front of the lead, the front of the race by 7 seconds. That guy has a time penalty, which might cost him a podium here. John and Hungry Throne are 2 seconds away from that guy. Smaller Smiley had a really strong opening stint on the medium compound tyres, battling with Ross. But since then, one of tiny errors has cost him a bit of time. He got undercut by Ross, which cost him a good 2 or 3 seconds as well. And as a result, Smaller Smiley, unfortunately, is off of the podium. But should still stay ahead of Deflated Wee and Joseph Hales, who have time penalties running in P6 and P7. Tamino, obviously, always Hungry Throne, bit of a slide, corrects it though. But he will lose a big chunk of time to John. Tamino obviously starting from the back, struggled to make his way through the field to the extent that Ross did, who on the opening lap gained 11 places from his 16th place start grid. And it's been a really masterful race from Ross. No mistakes at all in this Grand Prix. Others ahead of him and around him have made tiny errors which have cost them time. Ross has had a fantastic battle with Tamino before he pitted. If Tamino stays in 8th place, he will gain 4 points from the race, make that 5 with the fastest lap. Ross, meanwhile, will have 25 points and extend his lead at the top of the championship by 20 points to over 100. And with only 4 Grand Prix left, including a sprint race, Ross needs just a 6th place finish, I believe, next week in America to gain the championship. But certainly, Alfa Romeo needed to outscore AlphaTauri by over 12 points here tonight. And so far, it is maximum points for the AlphaTauri team, first and second. But that may not last for too much longer here. John and Hungry Throne closing in on that guy. Yes, you can, TD. It's been a fascinating race. Drama aplenty. Good battles. Strong performances. I was particularly impressed by Colucci in the opening 7 laps. Had his highest run and best start of his Grand Prix that I've seen. But unfortunately, a couple of mistakes led Colucci to retire in the pits. Mr. Wiggles and Perry Jerry also had rough opening stints, and they chose to retire from this race early. No safety cars have come out to bunch this pack up. That's why there are so many gaps in the field. That guy's still battling to keep hold of a podium here. He's got 1.5 laps to stay over 3 seconds ahead of either John or Hungry Throne. Smaller Smiley is on for a 5th place finish, which is a very good, strong result. Ross leads by 7.5 seconds. He can afford to, well, he can afford to cut some corners if he wanted to. Ross and Hungry Throne, unless any last-minute alterations by TD, should be your drivers of the day tonight. But there's still time for a late move here. John, can he get close enough with the DRS into turn 1? Gaps 3/10, 2/10. He's alongside and he's ahead into turn 1. John takes ownership of 2nd place. He was leading this race early on, but a bit of contact with deflated wing. He has had a really, really strong fight back up the field. Definitely John deserves to be in the shout for driver of the day, or at least special mention. And imagine what John could have done tonight if it hadn't been for that slight contact with Wee earlier. That guy in Hungry Throne have to settle the podium. Definitely looks like Hungry Throne will join John and IIRL J on the rostrum. IIRL J, it's been a masterful race from him. How you gain 11 places on the opening lap baffles me. His pace has been terrific. His battle with Tamino was even better. And he comes round the final corner to win yet again in IRL. He takes the Japanese Grand Prix and extends his gap at the top of the championship to over 100 points tonight. He has definitely got one hand and 4 fingers on that trophy. John and Hungry Throne, great performances from them. Finish on the podium, that guy, just that time penalty cost him in the end, but a very strong result for him nonetheless. Smaller Smiley in 5th place, Deflated Wee and Joseph Hales 6th and 7th. Tamino, very good pace tonight. However, does finish in 8th place here in Japan. Does get the fastest lap of the race, unless anyone beats it in this final lap. Greg and Dayman battling to the line. We said that Dayman could potentially get Greg here, but does miss out on some points. Prev will finish in 10th place. Deton will finish in P13. Punk DTS will be dropped to the back. Let's get TD back in the party, shall we? Renier and Pajestic finishing 15th and 16th. Not the race that Padge was hoping for after a very, very promising quali performance here tonight. But Ross winning the race by exactly 7.5 seconds. Definitely deserved that one. So, TD, are you with us?
I am. I know.
Well, it's nice to have you back. It was nice to have some peace and quiet for a bit.
Wow! The insults are already coming.
So, who's going to be your driver or drivers of the day, TD?
Ross and number 4. 5 miles. And then John and smaller special mentions.
Well, there you have it. What a race. Ross takes home his 28th win
Sweat.
in this league. And I believe this is his 100th points finish in IRL in about 114 races. It really is incredible.
It's a good way to do it, really, isn't it?
It is a very good way to do it. From 18th on the grid, no, sorry, not 16th. From 18th on the grid to first. Wow. I mean, there's not a lot really you can say that we haven't said about Ross. I don't know how he does it.
Can I just say, I put in the Discord at Ross at Tomato last to first question mark. Ross put, I will get taken out, no points.
Well, he was definitely wrong. Congratulations, Joseph. Whole race of that penalty. Should I knew that was coming, mate. We saw it on stream. I knew that was coming.
Is that about the penalty?
Yeah, it is. Oh, I said it in the moment as well.
Joseph, he went,
Well,
oh, well, that's getting sent in.
well, it's been an absolute pleasure to call yet another race win for Ross.
It just needs to go outside.
He does. Well, if you like more of that, join us on Thursday night for Assist Tier 1. And join us on Sunday night for Assist Tier 2. I probably won't be there on the wheel, but maybe by Season 4 I'll be there. Thank you, TD, for joining me on comms. It's been a pleasure, as always. Hope you enjoyed your pizza.
It's never a pleasure with you.
Thank you. It's been a good friendship since August 2020.
Just shut up.
We're going to raid this guy. We're going to raid this guy. Hope you enjoy the raids, and we'll see you on Thursday night. Peace.